If you clicked on this video, it's probably because you want to learn how to appendix carry / conceal carry and how to do it more comfortably. And all you need to remember is the common acronym BBC, mostly known as better be comfortable.
Don't tap. She like my pics on IG, she gon' don't tap. Somebody like rule number 2, don't tap. I like my females in twos, don't tap. I feel like something to man. I had the devil that left that hoe in the past. You with the devil that Glock 14 in the bed, poppin' like bubble wrap. Damn, she could get leave.
Alright guys, so in today's video, as you can tell from the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be giving you guys some basic conceal carry tips to help not only people that are just now starting to get into conceal carry, specifically appendix carry, but even if you've been doing it for a while. A couple of these things are just stuff that I've learned throughout appendix carrying, not only through just the past 4 years of appendix carrying, but also doing it in competition as well. So there's definitely a couple of things that I found that make it a lot easier and also a lot more comfortable. I have worked where I can carry my gun all day, every day, so I've sat down with it for up to 8 hours at a time, walked around with it all day. Even if I can't wear it while I'm at work, I'm definitely wearing it before and after. So it's just a few kind of basic tips that help change the game for me that I want to give to you guys to make your journey just a little bit easier if possible. I will give one of you guys a holster. I will buy whatever holster of your choice. If you want to buy a tier 1 concealed or a T-Rex arms, I will buy it for one lucky winner, one of you lucky guys. If this video hits 350 likes, that's all. As soon as it hits 350 likes, I'll pick a random person. All you got to do is like the video, make sure you're subscribed, and then comment what your EDC is right now. That's all you guys got to do. A little bit of engagement on my end helps some. And as soon as we hit 350 likes, if we hit 350 likes, I'll buy one of you guys a holster of your choice. So I brought out a few different holsters for you guys to see right here. This is a tier 1 concealed. These two are T-Rex arms, which was my favorite for a minute. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Kind of whatever I use, I can get used to, and they're both more comfortable and less comfortable in their own ways. And then what I do actually use and carry is going to be the tier 1 concealed APX or Apex holster, whatever. So this is my Glock 47 that I do EDC, and the holster that it's in. So having just a good holster, specifically Kydex in my opinion, is going to be the first step into being comfortable while you're concealing. You don't want something that's huge, like bulky. You see how these are like cut out as close as they can be around the gun. So you don't want something that's got like a rounded edge that's gonna stick out and be sticking into your skin. Also, what I like about these, especially the newer T-Rexes, is see how they're gonna bend to your body. See how that extra magazine holder is kind of moving back and forth. It's gonna bend and conform to your body. Same thing with my Apex tier 1 that I have back here. So that's just a huge plus. And then another thing that you guys can do to not only make it softer for whenever it's pushing up against you, but also help with concealing, is going to be a wedge right here. So if you guys can see this thing on the back that I have on the back, so this, as it sits up against your pelvic area, your appendix, it's going to actually push the top of the gun back, and it's going to make this whole area right here a lot softer pressed up against you. So as you can see, it's just kind of like a wedge that's sticking off of the back, and so that's gonna, as it's sitting, it's gonna push the tip of the gun or the top of the gun, the handle back, and that's what's gonna print anyways. So you're gonna conceal better, and it makes it a little bit softer. So first two things, the easiest things, of course, if you're gonna conceal carry, you need a holster. Just get a good one. And there's other good brands out there. My personal two favorite are just tier 1 concealed and T-Rex arms. The next thing that's gonna make concealed carrying easier, not necessarily more comfortable, we're going to get that into a second, but first of all, what's going to make it more easy is going to be a good belt. So I'm going to show you guys more, but I have a Core Essentials EDC belt, and there's a couple other belts. You just want a stiff, rigid belt that's going to hold up the weight of your gun so that you're not sagging, and then just in general, the clothes that you guys pick is going to help. You don't want to dress like Lil Uzi Vert or something, you know, with like the Island Boys with some super tight skinny jeans, a super skinny tight shirt and white beater. That's not only going to be good for concealing, but it's just not comfortable in general. So maybe put away the Fashion Nova and Sheen stuff. And just, you know, wear some regular stuff. It doesn't have to be baggy by any means, but just some nice fitting, comfortable clothes. In general, whatever you're gonna wear to be more comfortable without a gun is obviously what you're gonna be more comfortable with a gun. And there's ways to actually wear your gun with shorts, which is actually kind of, I did a video of this a while ago. And so as you can see right here, I actually wear my belt underneath the top half, the top strap of my shorts, and I connect the gun, the holster, over top of the shorts, kind of combining them so that they don't sag, and then the belt is holding the shorts up. I do this all the time if I don't feel like wearing pants, jeans, or whatever. If I'm going to the gym, on a walk, a quick run to the store, whatever, you just throw that belt on underneath. You can still wear basketball shorts, sweatpants, whatever. And there's also some brands that make like EDC gear. I've done a video on a couple of those before. That is just more money that you have to spend to get into it. So this is just a free option as long as you already have your belt and holster. That's just something that can make this so much easier and simple, so you don't have to always put on jeans or pants with belt loops every time you step out of the house to be able to conceal carry. The next thing I want to talk about, and this is a huge important one that a lot of people don't think about. So say you have a core belt, just like I have, and say you have a holster that has a mag carrier on the side, or even just a holster that has 2 clips. Most of the time, your belt buckle is not going to be able to fit in between the 2 clips. And so the easy way to avoid that is just having your belt buckle off to your left side. It's got to be the left side. And the reason I say that is for this right here. You see how easy this is to undo your belt. If you have the belt buckle on the right side, then that crosses your zipper and button. So you'd have to take the belt completely off to be able to undo your zipper and button. If you have it on the left side, you can just undo it and still keep the belt on, except for in that front loop, and, you know, do your business, pee, whatever you need to do. And speaking of that, another common question that I get asked is, how do you use the bathroom whenever you have your gun? So there's multiple different ways that you can do this. And so you can take your gun completely off and kind of tuck it under your shirt or under your arm, and then if you really like, if you have people in the bathroom, you can tuck it under your shirt so that people can't see. That's always an option. Another thing that you can do is just kind of thread the needle, as one would say, and just go through the loop in your underwear, through the loop in your zipper, and still just go kind of underneath the holster. You know, if you don't have enough, you know, if you have a micro wiener, as some would say, I do too. So the good thing about that is you could do the tuck under, or if you're in a stall by yourself, you can completely remove it off and just set it on like the rack or the toilet paper holster or whatever. The only thing about that is you got to be real careful, obviously, not to leave it in the bathroom, because that actually happens all the time. People forget to put their gun back on and they leave it in the bathroom, and that's a free gun for the Starbucks employee or whatever. Whatever you do, just be very mindful. You're in a public place, don't leave it wherever you go use the bathroom. I know it sounds obvious, but it happens all the time, so you know, it's kind of just something extra to think about. The next thing is people don't like to conceal carry appendix because they think you can't sit up or down or bend over. And so personally, what I do is I kind of take the top of the gun, like my handle, and push it out some and pull the holster and the gun up a little bit. So out on the top of it and up a little bit, so that my stomach can kind of bend as I'm sitting down, and that puts the gun above and higher up on my stomach, so I can still kind of move back and forth. That's another kind of real simple, easy thing. And you can kind of play with that and see if you like your gun riding lower, riding higher, whatever is easiest for you. To be able to, you know, bend down or sit down easily. But that's really all it is playing with it. Pause. But a lot of this stuff, you guys are going to kind of figure out your own way of doing kind of my tips, right? So it might not work exactly for you, but you kind of find a way to maybe just adjust it slightly to make it more comfortable for you. But these are just kind of general tips and things to do to make it more comfortable, and you kind of customize it to your own. And speaking of sitting down, me personally, I do not like to take my gun off while I'm in the car. I'm kind of an overthinker, so I think of What if I get in a car crash and need to use it for some reason? Obviously, you know, it can go sliding somewhere. Or, you know, if you have a SIG and you get in a car crash, it can go sliding somewhere and then shoot itself. So you definitely don't want to do that. And then if it's not on your person and for some reason you need to get out of your car quickly and start running, now you left it in your car, or you're just kind of running with it, you know, and that might not be good if you're in public space. So personally, I like to keep it on my person, and I do the same thing when I'm sitting down. I kind of push the top of it forward, pull it up some, and then I tuck my seatbelt and my shirt behind the gun so that the gun is still exposed. If for some reason somebody can see me, I'll keep my shirt over it. But personally, I like to ride with my seatbelt behind the gun. I just don't like the thought of, if I do get in a car crash, God forbid, that the seatbelt is pushing against the holster and the gun into me. And I think kind of right there, you got to lose. You know, there's not going to be like a good way to get into a car crash, but it just makes me feel a little bit better with the seatbelt tucked behind my holster and my shirt as well. That lets you get quickly to the gun if you need to draw it for some reason. Other kind of tips whenever it comes to concealed carrying it in general, this is kind of obvious, but you got to find your own balance. The size of the gun is going to matter, and not only how much it conceals, but also how comfortable it is to wear. So me personally, like I've shown you guys, I carry a full-size gun. This is basically a Glock 17. It's the Glock 47, so same thing as the 17. Full-size grip, full-size sliding barrel, full-size spare mag with actually a +2 extension. So this is a full-size big gun, big holster setup. I mean, you see how big this is. This is a lot to be carrying on your person. If I ever have to use my gun, every gunfight is an open gunfight. So just because I want to be comfortable and carry around a Hellcat or a LCP or whatever doesn't mean that the other person is going to be fair and also have a small gun. Just kind of something I think about. So it is not too uncomfortable for me to carry the 47, and I can conceal it kind of well. I'm 6'2", 260, so I'm a bigger guy. I can conceal it pretty decently. But you need to find that balance for you, whether it be a Glock 19 instead, or maybe even a 26 or a 43, whatever not only conceals best for you, but also is comfortable, because carrying a gun around all day, no matter how small it is or what you do, you're always going to feel it. It's not ever gonna, you know, it's not ever just gonna feel like you're not wearing a gun. It's always gonna be there. So whatever finding that balance is for you, play around with different stuff, play around with different sizes. Again, that can get expensive if you, you know, like, okay, I want to carry this 26, let me buy a holster. And then you're like, oh, I want a bigger gun now. You have to buy another holster for it. So, you know, maybe just think about it some, or borrow somebody else's holster. And if you have a friend that'll let you wear it for a week or two to see how it is, that's obviously another easy thing to do.